trade recap for today. So this first trade was pretty poor. I entered really late, so like if I had gotten stopped out right there, that would have been bad. That would have been like a big loss. And like it was coming back and I was like, oh. But yeah, I like had just gotten back to my computer. I stepped away for a sec and I mean it played out fairly well. I saw we like tested the balance up there and came back into this one. And then now we just rejected the extreme again and held it to this it's not really an extreme. This level was kind of just like a heavy volume point, but that we actually was it? I think it was just a heavy volume point. And I took profits there, like yeah, basically at that high right there. And I think I was gonna hold to this extreme of this balance. And then I took basically what I thought was another rejection of the extreme. This was another very late entry, but I entered on much less contracts because I already caught like the kind of big win for the day. And I took my partial at like the same point because this was like a high volume area right there. And I think I was gonna aim for maybe around this high and then further up. And then I entered on 3 macros and took one off and then stopped for 2, and that was another very big stop. So I definitely need help with my entries and working on my entries. And then we kind of I felt like buyers were kind of exhausted and not really managing to push up, uh, even though we were at the extreme of the balance area. And so buyers eventually failed to hold that balance area, and I saw we tried again, like we tried the auction again higher, but buyers failed, so I entered in basically off of a retest, a rebid, and took partials there, and I could have held it much longer. I had like another partial like 611 or something, but I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk taking a loss. I guess I could have positioned where my stop was and it would have been fine. But yeah, that was pretty decent. And then we rejected that price, the balance area, I mean. And I bought here and accidentally hit sell limit, I think, instead of sell stop. And so it exited me. And then I bought right here again. And then I honestly think I shouldn't have taken either of these trades. I mean, they were decent. I was gonna exit like right at this high volume point again, 772. That's where I set my like final TP at. I was entering on like 2 contracts here because I just didn't really want to lose. And so I entered right here. This was another really late entry, and I had my stop here, but then I moved it up because I saw we were rejecting, and I was like, oh, you know what? But let me just make sure I don't get stopped out for too much. But I honestly would have exited fully, and if my stop, I just left it there. And I did have questions on, it's in the recording, if like, I think it was like this retest or this one, like basically in the balance area, if that was a proper retest and then like exit. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the recap.